Good morning. Myself, Adira, working as an assistant professor in the Department of Information Technology, Hindustan College of Engineering Technology. Here we are going to go through the topic programming using C and also specifically in array structure and also in strings. Content of this entire session is introduction to array, declaration and initialization, one dimensional array, multidimensional array, strings in C program, and string operations and string functions, which are the same. And one dimensional array and multidimensional array are the types of array that we are used in C program. Introduction to array. Array is a collection of elements, and those elements we are going to collect in array are of the same type, and they are referenced with a common name, that is the array name. And it can be used to store various data types like primitive data type as well as derived data type and user defined data types such as int, char, float are primitive data type, and derived and user defined data types such as pointers, structures, etc. And all the elements of the array occupy a set of contiguous memory location. That means the array storing the elements, the collection of elements are called array, right? So the elements are stored in specific memory location. And here I'm showing you some picture that represent array in C. That is an array having elements 2, 4, 8, 12, 16, and 18. And these elements are of same type, that is integer data type, and they are stored in a specific memory location. 2 is in separate memory location, 4 is in separate memory location, and they are represented, or they are accessed using array index, right? 2 is in the index 0 and 4 is in index 1, 8 is in index 2, so on. So the array indexes start from 0 and end with infinity. So this is what an introduction about array. Next thing is declaration and initialization. The both terms are different. Declaration means we are just creating an array using an array name, and initialization means we are just giving elements, or we are just assigning some elements of same data type into that given array or created array. Syntax of array declaration is data type, array name, of size. Data type means the type of elements, which type of element you are going to enter into that specific array. And it may be integer data type, or it may be character data type, it may be floating data type, it depending upon your problem. And array name is depending on your problem, it is your wish also. If you are going to give a single alphabetic character like a is also okay. If you are going to give a specified name array 1, array 2, it is depending upon you, the programmer. And the size of the array is that how many elements you are going to enter into your array, that is the size of array. Or here we have two syntax: we can assign a single size, or you can assign multiple sizes to an array. And I'm also giving some example here. We already know that C have a specific structure. So first you need to mention the, or you need to get some of the header files to run your program. Here I'm using standard input output header, and I'm just giving some code or some declaration of array only. And here we are just having a main function, and in that main function I'm just declaring some array that is with integer data type, and my array name is ARR. The size of the array is 5. And second array is in character data type, and its name is also ARR. Maybe it just have some issues, you can change the array name also. Maybe it make any conflict, so you can change the array name also here. So its size is also 5, and I'm just returning some value. That's all. I'm just declaring some array here. There's some example, a bit of code. And array of my array size is 5 and my array name is ARR. And the memory allocated for this ARR of 5 is 0, 1, 2, 3, and 4. I'm having 5, size of 5, right? So here I'm just creating a memory location starting from 0 to 4. That means 5 space, 5 locations I'm just creating. Next is syntax of array initialization. We already know that what is declaration. Declaration means we are just creating an array. And array initialization means whatever array is created by you is given by, or it is going to assign by some values. So the syntax is data type, array name, size. It is called declaration, right? And using the assignment operator equal to, I'm just assigning a list of values. List of values is represented using curly braces, and the values here I'm assigning is value 1, value 2, etc., up to value n. You can assign multiple values to the array according to the size of the array. Okay, if you are assigning 5 values, the size of the array should be 5, or if your size is 5, then your element should be 5. That is correct. And the example for array initialization is, I'm just having my standard header file and also main function, and I'm just creating integer type array ARR, and its size is 5, and I'm assigning 5 values to that array, that is 10, 20, 30, 40, and 50. And array 1, next array is array 1, and I'm not declaring any size to that array, so I can enter any number of type, any number of elements to that array. So that elements I'm just assigning is 1 to 5, and I'm just creating a floating point typed array, that is array 2 with size 5, and I'm just assigning values to that array 2 using for loop, that is looping statement. I'm just initializing I is equal to 0, and I have a condition I less than 5, and I'm just giving some process to that I value, that is I plus plus, incrementing I. So then array 2 of I is equal to float of I into 2.1. That is, the value of I is 0, starting initially the value of I is 0, and I'm just up to the condition I less than 5, I need to increment I value, and also the value going to store into the index of array 2 is using the operation I into 2.1. Okay, whatever value we can get is entered into that array. And array initialization, here I'm giving a pictorial representation, that is array of 5. I'm just assigning value to the array ARR. The size of the array is 5, and the values are 2, 4, 8, 12, and 16, and the memory location is allocated for that ARR should have size 5, that is 0 to 4, and the values are inserted into that index. Like in 0, I'm just going it just assign 2, and index 1 it just assign 1, and in index 2 it just assign 8. According to your list or list of elements, it just assign the values or values into the index. And next one is types of array. Basically, the array is classified into three: one dimensional array and two dimensional array and multi-dimensional array. Here we are going to concern that two types, that is one dimensional array and multi-dimensional array. Two dimensional array is also known as multi-dimensional array. If one or more array, it is called multi-dimensional array, right? So here we are going to consider one dimensional array and multi-dimensional array. Basically it is of three types: one dimensional, two dimensional, multi-dimensional. Above two, it is multi-dimensional. And one dimensional array means the array that we are looking from the beginning itself. It is called one dimensional array. That is, one dimensional array is a linear array. It have only single subscripting, that is, it need only one bracket, that is only one representation. We can, if the size of the array is 8, then we can enter 8 elements to the array. That's all. That is what the one dimensional array. And The syntax for the array is data type, array name, and size. We are already know that, right? So this is what the syntax for one dimensional array. An example is I'm just declaring an array int a of 8. It is one dimensional array. And 1D array pictorial representation is 1D array 1, 2, 3. I'm just assigning 8 elements to an array with and its memory size is 8. So I'm just assigning 1 to 8, and the index value start from 0 to 7. And it is an example using one dimensional array. That is, I'm just initializing an array of size 5 using for loop. I'm declaring array 5 in integer data type. Here I'm declaring, right? I'm just giving an array name and also a size and a data type. It is declaration. And then I'm assigning, or I'm just initializing the array with elements using this for loop. That is my initial index value. Index in initial index, it is 0, and the condition for that for loop is I less than 5, and I need to do I plus plus. That is the for loop condition. And the process is this I into I minus 2 into I plus 1. Whenever the process is done or the operation is done, the values according to this equation, which values get it will be stored into this array ARR. And finally I'm going to print those elements which is entered in array ARR using the print statement and also using this for loop. And finally I'm going to return some value. Why? Because I'm just using int data type for my main function, so I need to return some value, right? So I'm just giving return 0. If here I'm using void main, then I don't need to mention any return type here. Okay. Then next one is multidimensional array. Most commonly used form of multidimensional array are two-dimensional array and three-dimensional array. One or more is known as multidimensional. So that is why I'm just mentioning two-dimensional array and three-dimensional array under multidimensional array. And two-dimensional array is having two subscripts. That is, we are just going to mention size of the array in two brackets, a single array name and have two sizes. Okay, one in one size we are just assigning row size, and in one bracket we are just going to assign column size. And the two-dimensional array is also known as array of the array. Okay, it is also known as array of array. Then here it is a syntax for two-dimensional array, that is data type, array name. In one bracket you need to mention row size, and in another bracket you need to mention column size. Semicolon is important. And for example, int ARR, it is my array name, and ARR is my array name, and int is my data type. I'm just declaring my array in integer data type, and I'm just assigning size, row size is 4 and column size is 4. The 2D representation is I have 4 rows, this is rows, and I have this is rows. Okay, this is rows and this is columns. So 4 rows and 4 columns. So this is what two-dimensional array, pictorial representation of two-dimensional array. And here I am giving one example which is representing two-dimensional array. As usual, I'm just initializing some header file, and I'm just initializing a main function with integer data type, and I have a two-dimensional array. Declaring and initialization I'm just done in a single line. That is int ARR is my array name ARR with the row size 2 and column size 3, and the values I'm going to, or the elements I'm going to enter into that array is 10, 20, 30, 40 and 50. That is 2 rows and 3 columns. So the values assigned is 10, 20, 30 and 40, 50, 60, like this.
and 3 columns. So here I am going to assign 10, here it is 20, here it is 30, and here it is 40, here it is 50, here it is 60. This is how the array look like. And finally, I am going to print that array elements using for loop. Okay.
Three-dimensional array is nothing but it is a collection of two-dimensional array. That is, it have syntax of array name, size 1, size 2, and size 3. We need to assign 3 sizes. That is what three-dimensional. This is an example program of three-dimensional array, and I'm just declaring an array with 3 sizes 2, 2, 2, and I'm having elements in that array as 10, 20, 30, 40, 50, 60, and 3D array declaration is over. I'm just printing those elements in that array, and I'm just mentioning the index as I, J, and K. Okay. Strings in C, it is a sequence of character. String means is a sequence of character and it ends with /0. And C string is stored as an array of character. String is stored as array of character, and this is how the array of characters looks like. And character is the data type, and str is the string name, and this is the space, the array of character, right? So I need to mention some brackets here, and the value I'm going to enter into that array is string array is geeks. So the index is 0, 1, 2, 3, and 4. Why? Because I have GEEKS, right? 5 letters are there, so I need 4 indexed memory location. So the data stored is in 0 index it just stores G, and in 1 it just enter E, and in 2 it just enter again E, and in 3 it just enter K, and 4 just enter S. And also it may assign a address space to that string. And the string function we are going to use need another declaration. That is, if we are going to use a string function, we need to declare some header files like string.h. That is, we already know that string.h is a header file which have the standard library function which is used to access or which is used to maintain some string functions. This is string declaration. Syntax for string declaration is character string name of size semicolon. Always the data type used for string declaration is character. Why? Because it is array of characters, right? Array of characters, and I'm just assigning letters and words. So the definitely the data type used to declare a string as character, and we need to mention some string name and also the size. Why? Because we are just going to store the string in as an array, so we need to mention a size in brackets. And in example program I need to initialize some header files like stdio.h and string.h. stdio.h is a standard input output header file which is used to access printf and scanf like things, and string.h is used to access the string functions like string length all and all. And I'm just declaring a main function, and I'm declaring some string with values computer, and I'm just printing that string using format specifier %s. Here I'm using %s as a format specifier for string, and I'm just initializing some variable length with value 0, and the length in the variable length I'm just going to store string length of str. That means the string length, that is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 letters, right? So string length will be 8. So I'm going to print that also using the string length function. And these are all the string functions. That is string length, it returns the length of the string, and string strcpy, it just copy the content of one string to another string, destination string to source string. And string cat, that means string concatenate to add one string with another string. And string compare, strcmp, fourth one is string compare. We if we need to compare two strings, then we use string compare method. If both string are same, it just returns 0.
If it is different, then it returns 1. strrev, that is to return the reverse the string. To reverse the string, if I am giving if I am giving A to C, then it returns C, D, A. And then strlwr, it returns lowercase letter of the given string, and strupr means string uppercase, that is, it just returns the uppercase of the given string. These are all the functions used for string. Another few examples for string function. Thank you. This is what about array and string used in C program. Hope you are all understand. Thank you so much.